Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the second lecture of the course. Before we begin, let me quickly recap what we did in lecture 1. Right? What I did in lecture. I introduced myself a little more. I told you about the main textbook and the supplementary textbook, which are necessary, Anderson and Callister, and the additional suggested reading, which is up to you. I introduced the course outline, the course contents in terms of chapters 1, 2, 3, 5 and so on, the marking scheme in general, which is tentative, which can change a little during, and then many professional societies and their websites, which will be very, very good if you want to know fracture mechanics and general mechanics and so on at a high level. Then I just showed you one or two pictures of fractures, different types of biological fractures, what is called orthopedics in medical terminology, the science and surgery of bones, the mechanical fracture of different components, shafts and nuts and bolts and fasteners and so forth. We started with the actual chapter. So I initially gave you an overview or a terminology, right? 8, 9, 10 different words or terms, which are all highly technical terms. So if you have a brief idea of what they are, continuing the same, then you will have a very quick general idea of the whole course and of the whole field of fracture mechanics. And of course, when we are doing this today, then you have already submitted, right, that brief homework. So I told you there is a short homework. All of these terminologies, go to the net, go to the books, wherever, write their definitions and very brief explanations and submit them. Then we talked of the major example of the sinking of the Titanic. What were the reasons? We showed you some pictures, the iceberg, the hull, the lowering of temperature below ductile to brittle transition, the impact loading with the icebergs, and then just one or two pictures of the microstructure, which we don't understand right now. We'll understand it later on, hopefully. Then I started, right, that in different places in the world, different societies, different books and so on, how do they define fracture mechanics? So this we did, and we did this with the explanation that whenever there is a crack, then in the vicinity, very close to the crack, the stresses are much higher than in the general portion of any component or part. And you have already done it in solid mechanics and in machine design about things called stress concentration. And when those cracks are there, then they will start the fracture propagation and so on. Then very quickly we tried to tell you that you see the strength of materials approach to design, that when does something fail? When the applied stress is more than the strength of the material. But opposed to it, the fracture mechanics approach, when does a material fail? Not only when the stress, but the crack geometry, right? The crack geometry plus the stress together, we find something called stress intensity factor because of these two. And rather than finding the material strength, we find material fracture toughness, a different thing. So here, if the applied stress is more than the material strength, the thing will fail. Here, if the applied stress intensity factor is more than the fracture toughness of the material, then it will fail. So this was where we ended. Actually, we ended in this first slide of lecture